most welcome to the Usher and God channel. Hope you're doing great. Today we've got an exciting episode for you, and it's all about our decision of whether to rent our property or sell our property, with regards to our journey back to the promised land. I'm sure a lot of you will be thinking about what you want to do. Do you want to sell the property? Do you want to rent out your property? For us, this is a decision we would have to make, while considering our present circumstances and also the unforeseen circumstances. But I'll highly recommend that if you decide to make this decision, you would want to consider a few things for yourself and see what favors you, or see how it favors you or not before you make that decision. For us, it was a very difficult thing to do, for me in particular, because I had put in a lot of work in the house, if you know what I mean, the garden area, and obviously one or two things in the house or in the room to make it feel very homely for me, for us.
I put in work as well.
I know you did, but from the woman's point of view,
okay.
It's a woman that makes a home, isn't it? Yeah, it was very emotional for me because with my plants, I kind of love them. I speak to my plants. It's very interactive. You see the way they grow when you put in the soil, and you see the process. You see some are being crushed, like you feed some plants, the same thing you feed other plants. You realize that some plants are doing much better than the other one. And sometimes when I look at that, it also brings me closer to the Most High. And I've learned a lot from, watching my plants grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it would be very difficult to detach myself from something like that, which is very spiritual to me. Mm-hmm. Right, before I keep talking, I'll highly recommend that this channel, please do subscribe, click the notification button so that you know when we upload new videos, like, share, so that we keep feeding you hopefully nice information to help you make your decision towards your relocation to the motherland.
Yeah.
Right, so we did a lot of research, so we wanted to know what would be best for us, and we also had to consider the market here in the UK, and going by the COVID-19, I don't want to call it that, I can call it going by what is going on in the country right now. You want to make sure that if you want to sell, that the market will favor you, or what actually is going on right now, so you'll be able to decide what you want to do and make the most of it. Now, Kingsley loves to research.
Yeah.
So he had to do the research, all the research that needed to be done, and he'll come back with some topics, and we'll look at it together and make our decision together.
Yeah, you did a bit of research yourself as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
But you're more detailed.
Okay, fair enough. Exactly.
Okay, so what did you find out?
Well, as you said, to sell or to rent is the $1 million question. It's a $1 million question, and just to reiterate, you have to make a decision that relates to your own personal circumstances, as Crystal just said. So in terms of renting, looking at renting, obviously there are various ways to rent, and I sort of looked at what I categorize as the two main routes. There's the traditional renting option, and there's the guaranteed renting option. Yeah. And basically in traditional renting, as most people know, you hire a letting agent, and that letting agent manages the tenants. They vet the tenants, they manage the process, they manage the home as well. They've got the keys, and it's all well and good. You tend to get a minimum contract of about 6 months. Okay, and in that procedure, in that contract, you most likely would get tenants who are employed, who have normal jobs in that route. The only issue there is that sometimes you can have vacant periods. They don't guarantee you against the vacant periods, obviously. So when you have a vacant period, you have to pay your mortgage in that period. Yes, so that can obviously, depending on when that happens, that may cause you a few problems. So it's one to consider. Whereas when it comes to guaranteed rent,
I did like that one.
You like that one, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, it's guaranteed. You're paid a monthly sum every single month, and the company who's offering you that guaranteed rent contract, that company becomes your tenant and you're the landlord.
Did you know that thing existed? I mean, this sort of arrangement existed.
No,
in
not
UK?
not previously.
Not previously.
It's only obviously, you know, needs must, and I did the research, asked a couple of friends who have been doing such a thing, and then I found it.
Yeah.
You know, there are a number of companies out there, so there's you're spot for choice. There is enough choice out there of guaranteed rent companies.
Yeah.
So they guarantee your rent. The company becomes your tenant, and they pay you. So, but the only difference here is that the minimum contract period here is 2 years.
Yes. I didn't like that because you don't know what's going to happen to this place, you know, because
in the current climate.
Yeah.
So and also with the guaranteed rent scheme, whilst they tend to get tenants who are employed in normal jobs, a lot of the time they get tenants from the councils who are on, you know, universal basic income, if you like, or benefits, etc. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just what tends to happen more in percentage terms. But with the guaranteed rent, one good thing is that there are no vacant periods to you, the landlord. You know, whether the company has a tenant or not, as long as you sign on the dotted line, you get paid monthly.
Yeah, but that's really good, isn't it? You kind of your mind wouldn't kind of be boggled that much, because you know that whether you're paying the rent or not, someone is taking care of the rent for you. At the end of the day, the property is still there in your name. Yeah, nothing to worry about, really.
Exactly. Yeah. So going back to the traditional renting, I just want to sort of go a bit more into the pros and cons that I found out. So back to traditional renting, some advantages, as I've said already. Typically employed people who are in normal jobs will be the tenants, which is great. Okay. You can have a lower term contract, minimum 6 months. Okay, as a good advantages of the traditional letting scheme. And also there are more traditional letting agents out there than there are guaranteed renting companies, if you like. So because obviously traditional renting has been around for a longer time than a guaranteed renting scheme. In terms of disadvantages of traditional renting, if you have a troublesome tenant, okay,
you don't want that.
You don't want that. It could mean a loss of income or rental payment. Now, obviously, wherever there's a problem, there's a solution. So you can get insurance to mitigate against that likelihood. But obviously, your insurance won't necessarily pay out immediately. You may suffer loss for a couple of months before the insurance kicks in. So that could be something that you need to consider as well. If in the extreme case, if you have a really troublesome tenant who's not paying rent and smashing up the property, and let's say you need to go to court, then you need to be here to be able to go to court. Yeah. Wow. And we don't plan to be around, so that's
not in the near future.
Yes,
not in the foreseeable future.
Not in the foreseeable future, exactly. So that's something that, you know, again, personal circumstances, you make your choice on that. Based on what's happening in the world right now, it can be difficult to get a troublesome tenant out of your property because of, you know, the issues that are happening now, as we all know. It's
a lot of
difficult.
people are being made redundant.
Yes, and because of the let's say that the situation that we have, the health situation that we have at the moment right now, is difficult to actually get a tenant, to evict a tenant can be tricky. Okay, and as I've talked about already, you can suffer vacant periods in the traditional renting scenario, and compared to the guaranteed rent, they're a little bit more expensive to set up and to run. Okay, because there are setup fees and there are yearly fees as well. Okay, so that's traditional renting in terms of the overview of pros and cons. Now, guaranteed renting, the advantage: guaranteed monthly sum of money. You know, if you're getting £1,000 a month, £1,500 a month, whatever it is, you know exactly what you're getting, and it's great for budgeting. Yeah, you know, great for budgeting. You don't have to worry about troublesome tenants. Not to say that you can't get troublesome tenants. You can do, but it's not your problem,
because they deal with it themselves.
This is the problem of the company, the rental company, who becomes your tenant. So a troublesome tenant is a subtenant, which is not your business. You don't have any contact with them. Right.
Well, sorry, but before you make that decision, well, for us here, we were advised that it would be right to speak to our bank. You know, our lender, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to speak to your mortgage lender. Absolutely. Yes. You have to get approval. You have to get approval. Consent, or as they say,
before you do
consent to rent. Yeah,
you need to know their position. Yeah,
absolutely.
You may get into trouble if you just do that.
Absolutely.
Well, make sure you speak to a solicitor.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Whichever choice you make sure you have your solicitor go through the contract. You know, exactly that. Absolutely right. So the guaranteed rent scheme is also cheaper to set up and run. and that's another advantage. In terms of the disadvantages, what I would say is again, it's a long contract period. If you're happy with a minimum of 2 years, then that is good. Again, whilst you can have tenants who have normal jobs, from my research, a lot of times there are people in there who are on universal income or benefits, which is not a bad thing. It's fine. However, sometimes some people may not appreciate, let's say, stuff, if you like, when they haven't had to work hard for it and they're just getting, benefits. So, make your decision based on that. And also, again, this is why you need a solicitor. You typically, some of the guaranteed rental companies require you to have an HMO license. So you need to check as well if that is something that you're willing to do or not. Okay, so that's an overview of the pros and cons of how we see traditional and guaranteed renting. And so after fully comparing both schemes, we decided that guaranteed rent was the one for us, really. And
it's easier.
It's easier. It's best for us. Guaranteed rent, more peaceful. If the worst happens and there was a court issue, again,
we didn't need to be there.
We didn't need to be there in person. We don't plan to be in this country for too long. So really, that was the best for our personal circumstance. Really.
Why did we choose it?
Well, we'll see. we'll see. So I mean, we also considered selling. Obviously selling has its own advantages. I know you're more into Crystal's more into the renting. I'm sort of more leaning towards selling.
I don't want to let go of my property yet. I put so much into it.
But selling has a great advantage. The market is busy right now. Very busy. There are more buyers in the market now than for a long time. If you speak to estate agents, some of the guys who've come around, they said they've not seen anything like it for a couple of years. There's just flooded with buyers. And why is that? Because the government's incentive. Recently, there's been a 95% mortgage incentive that just come out in the UK, which means first-time buyers only have to put down 5% deposit. So they're rushing to buy their first property. There is no stamp duty, which tends to be 1% of the value of the property, I think. There's no stamp duty now until the end of June. Okay? And also, even after the end of June, until the end of September, there is no stamp duty on all homes that are valued up to £250,000. Okay? So all of these are incentives that are encouraging people to buy, especially first-time buyers. Okay?
So it's quite surprising, because that hadn't been in place for a long time, and then all of a sudden it's happening now.
Yes, of course.
Well,
of course, it's happening. It's happening now, because so really, it's a seller's market, because the values of properties are still high, okay, and there are buyers in the market. So it's a seller's market. So if you want to sell, then it's a great opportunity to sell. We've lived here for about 14 years, where we are now, and it's property served us well. It served us.
It's a beautiful property that all I see is just peace, love, brings blessings with it. I love it. It
served us well, and personally I feel that it's time to say goodbye. Time to say goodbye, and sell up and use anything extra to invest in Africa. People say it's not good to lose your asset, which is true. True, because your assets can generate you income. But at the same time, a lot of our people are also blinded to the assets that are in Africa and the potential that is in Africa.
That's true.
You can sell your asset here and buy more assets in Africa.
That's how he's thinking.
Exactly. That are rising massively.
But I'm thinking, that you can always generate more income somewhere, somehow, and leave this one as it is here, and also purchase more properties back home. That's what I think.
At the same time, if you do a guaranteed rent scheme for 2 years, okay, and let's say after the 2 years the market has the housing market has crashed, then you could be in negative equity, or you maybe find it very, very difficult to sell. And again, the rumor mill has it that there is a crash coming at some point. No one can tell the future. But if you look at trading, it doesn't always stay up. It's up and down, up and down, and up and down. So we are in a unique situation right now that if you want to sell, now is the time to sell, because the values are high and there are lots of buyers in the market that are being incentivized to come into the market. Coming back to the Africa. assets I was talking about, and Africa assets are rising. For those of you, if you follow our channel, you know we bought a couple of plots of land some time ago, and we bought our plot of land, which was 70 feet by 100 feet for 47,500 Ghana cedis. Okay, the person we bought it from bought that same piece of land 5 years ago for 13,500 Ghana cedis.
Can you believe that?
Okay, so that's a 350% increase in 5 years.
Yeah.
And the assets are still rising. The house prices are still rising. The land is still rising. Okay, you can still get some areas relatively cheap, but not for long, because as more and more people head back to Africa, you know, the diaspora is heading back, etc. It's rising and rising and rising. So you need to get in there now before it's too late. Timing is everything when it comes to investments.
That's true, though. Absolutely.
You know.
I agree.
You know, and I just personally I feel that more disposable income to invest in Africa is the way I want to go. You know, assets are assets. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the Chinese are rushing Africa.
That's true.
Why are they rushing Africa? Because Africa holds a lot of resources, a lot of wealth. 60% of the world's most arable land. You know, the minerals, the gold, the diamonds, and etc. etc. And the Europeans are still rushing Africa. What are we doing? What are we doing in the UK, in the United States, in China? What are we doing? Our people, what are we doing to invest in Africa?
To be quite frank with you, I would say that if you wanted to invest in a property, I think it's best to invest in an upcoming area than a place that's been saturated for a very long time.
You're talking about in Africa now? You're talking about now?
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to invest, you know, like buy a property.
Yeah, it's like developing. Yes.
An upcoming developing area than
yes,
a place that is well, you know,
already well
served
built.
its purpose.
Exactly.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's, you know, everybody to his taste.
Yeah.
But if us Africans or people of African descent, Caribbean, everybody, if we leave it too late, then you know, you imagine going home and seeing that, you know, the Chinese bought most of the lands, and you as an indigenous person, you know,
yeah,
you're
for us it's Sankofa.
Limited in options. Sankofa, go back and get what is yours.
Yeah.
You know, I know that when I watch some videos on online, and Zambia, for example, there's some areas that are like owned by the Chinese.
Wow.
Which is deplorable.
People don't like that to happen to Ghana.
No, not at all. I mean, they're in Ghana as well, in every African country, but you know, it's up down to the government, which
that is
that's a different story. Really.
I don't want to talk about it.
Go and talk about that at all.
No.
But to sell your home and to have no mortgage, I mean, that's like heavenly.
That's true, though.
When I looked at the numbers and I thought, okay, if I didn't have my mortgage, what would it mean to us financially? Wow, that's significant. No mortgage. And when you have no mortgage, if you sell your UK home, that means you've got no gas, no water bills, you know, no home insurance, and all the other insurances that come with it. And that is a significant drop in expenses.
Yeah. You
know, and it just means more and more disposable income.
Yeah.
Which means you can have a good, you know, enjoy life more, and like I said, invest in more African assets, which are on the rise. So you're gonna make your money back.
You know what? Yeah, you talking about it brings this kind of joy all across your face. I see you're all in for it.
I'm all in for it. I mean, it's taken a while. I mean, I was all about the guaranteed rent, but I'm all about the selling. Obviously, you're still in the rental. So I want to explore, not just invest in African assets, but I want to explore Africa as well. You know, and how, you know, what the Maya style, maybe not to that extent, but still explore the other African countries. And you know, selling the UK home has its attraction, definitely, to me, to buy more promising assets in the African continent, you know, and to starting off in Ghana. You know, for example, I just saw the other day a lovely 2-bedroom flat with, you know, with a couple of balconies in Ghana, selling for $45,000 US, which is about £32,000.
Wow.
If you can afford that and you bought it, it's in a nice place. You can rent it out. You can make it into an Airbnb or whatever. Rent it out, and you can have rental income.
Yeah.
That's it's all about having multiple income streams.
That's true, though.
You know, so that's something to
Makes
think
sense.
about. Yeah. So and when I consider all of those factors, me personally, I would like to get out of the developed world, get out of this West system, okay, and get, as Bob Marley said, get on that Zion train back to the motherland.
Yeah.
That is what my personal choice is. But I know that Chris prefers the renting option. and there's a lot of emotional ties.
Yeah,
with
but
your
but
garden
then
and stuff,
emotion doesn't make you money, really.
That's true.
It does, yeah. So you're more a practical person when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I'm kind of emotionally attached to the property, and I also think that renting it out is not, it's going to be okay to some extent, because let's say for a year, because I wouldn't want to rent it out more than for over a year, really, especially if you're not sure of what's going to happen in the market.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose out, of course. But nobody knows. What if nothing happens? So I think that there's nothing wrong in having a property here and having a property there as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Just in case in the near future you decide to do something here, you have a place to stay.
That's true.
I don't know, but what I do know is that I want to invest my money in an upcoming area that will be economically beneficial for me, and then something that has a long-term interest.
Yeah.
For me. When you look around here, I don't think it serves that purpose, really. So I think I have to think about it, obviously detach my emotions from it, and make a decision on what makes sense.
Yeah. And let go of your lovely garden.
It's okay, I'll have better ones when I go back home, I think.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you choose to do, it is, life is a risk. Whatever decision you choose to make, there's always a risk associated with it.
Yeah.
You can choose to go down the guaranteed rent for 2 years, and if the property market has crashed, then you can't sell. But then obviously you got to hold on to it and hope that it rises again. And who knows, with the changes that are coming in this world, who knows what's going to happen. But that's an option. Just keep hold of it until it rises again, if it rises again, or whatever it does, or you sell and relocate to Africa, buy more assets and what have you. So
regarding that, you're just saying remove your emotions from it. That I will do, but it's not that very easy, we've done the tarmac.
We've
done quite a bit of work, and we even did the loft. We even did a shed, because I had, which I'll show you. I have an office.
Yeah, exactly.
It says it's his, but I think it's mine.
I think you need to show the guys your garden.
Yeah, I'm going to show you my garden. So the picture you're seeing right now.
Yes.
It's a picture of what we did on the property. You can see the tile mark. You can see the what do you call that the pavement. We put a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a reinforced concrete, reinforced patterned concrete.
Yeah, and then I had to really clear up the whole place, and we had to plant some flowers all over again, just to make the place look more beautiful and obviously more peaceful. Because I want to come back to a home and it speaks peace to my soul. The home just says welcome home.
Yeah, exactly.
We've done a bit of work there. You can see where we initially planted the flowers and the roses,
the artificial grass area.
Yeah, the artificial grass area. And right now, here's a picture on your screen showing how the flowers have grown. And this was just last year, wasn't it? Was it? No, 2019, wasn't it? We did this.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about 2 years now.
Yeah, 2019 we did this. So beautiful. You can see that for yourself.
And this is what you are struggling to let go of.
I know, because I put so much. Oh my God! I fought so hard. What do you want to say?
No, go on.
I searched all over London. Also, you can say Erith to find the right flowers. I went to Bexley Heath. I even went to Dartford. All over Kent. I even went to London to look for some certain breed of flowers. To plant, because I love hydrangea.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a certain one. I couldn't find it, but I found one or two. Because I wanted to, grow them, to a certain level, cut them the way I wanted to, bring out the kind of beauty out of them. I love hydrangea, and I love roses as well, and I wanted to plant vegetables. The soil, I got a problem with the soil in this country. It's nothing compared to what we have back home. So I decided not to farm directly on the ground, on the soil, but also just to get big buckets of planting pots and plant my vegetables and my spices. Yeah, herbs. So on the video you can see my tomatoes. You can see that, and other vegetables as well. I'm gonna miss this, but But when I go back home, I'm gonna farm on a bigger level, higher scale. I might even employ people to till the ground for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm gonna make massive use of the plot of land we haven't used for building. I'm sure gonna do a lot of things.
Bring the subscribers that as well.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll carry you along. Never mind.
So, go on. Sorry.
I haven't finished.
Yeah, go on. Carry on.
Okay, so this is what I've done to the garden. You see how beautiful it is, and that's last summer. Was it last summer? Was it maybe summer before last? Well, I was just having fun. Okay, it was last summer. Yeah, I was just having fun at the garden because it's so beautiful. Just taking the pictures. Little did I know we're going to get rid of, or me consider getting rid of this property. And then I just decided not to do anything to this garden anymore because it would be too painful to even look at the plant, feed the plant, and then leave the plant, because it's like I'm betraying the plants. So I said not to touch my roses, and I said not to water them anymore, so that I don't have that guilt. It's quite painful. You may not understand, but if you're a gardener, you understand what I mean. Not to feed your plant is an atrocity. Abandoning your plant is not a good thing at all. But somehow I'm gonna be okay. The plants are gonna be okay. I pray that the next if we decide to rent the apartment, whatever thing we decide to do, somebody's going to be here, isn't it? I pray that the person will look after these plants and love these plants as much as I did love them. Yeah. Cool. So, what did you want to say, Kingsley? I said that.
Yes, I've detached anyway. Spiritually, I've detached. Yeah, exactly. But it's a tough one, really. But we continue to pray to the Most High for guidance, and then we'll see what to do. So what I say is, join us next time, guys. To and hopefully we'll do a part 2 at some point when we've come to the conclusion of our decision to rent or to sell. And but hey, question for you guys: what would you do? Comment below and tell us what would you do. Would you rent or would you sell? Guaranteed rent, traditional rent. What would you do? It'd be good to know what others would do if they were in the similar circumstances, or if you're going to be. Great.
I also want to know what you would do if you had a garden that you loved so much and you wanted to sell. What would you do? Would you be emotionally attached to your garden? Would you continue to feed the garden? What do you think I should do? Continue to feed the garden and be heartbroken? Or just leave it like that? I don't know what to do. What do you think?
Okay, guys. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us this time. And I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
So from you, it's...
Kemesia.
You've been here today. Guys, thank you very much for watching. And as usual, please like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification button to receive more and more videos of our journey back to the promised land and also building our dream home in Ghana.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Take care and see you next time.